It's time to die, you will die a horrible death.
This happened yesterday, and you're gonna be shocked by this terrifying incident what go down at this place, what they call Burger King. Burger King is located in all parishes, of course, because it's one of the most fanciest restaurants. I work the night shift, but sometimes I come early to help my boyfriend get cleaned up and go home. I was thumping the trash when I see two figures appearing behind him. He was one of my old boyfriend. He raised a big kitchen knife, slaughter, and he was going to slice my boyfriend's neck or something. My boyfriend smiled, seeing in me on time. I said, "Watch out!" But I was too late. I was screaming for him to move out of the way, but it was too late. The ear in the back of my neck stood out like sharp needles. I see they pinned him on the ground. "I got you now, you little shit!" I sprang away from the garbage bin to see what's going to unfold next. The ear like sharp needles, they were torturing him in the building. Next what unfold, I don't think anyone was ready for that. "You little shit, I got you now and there's no one here to help you. You're gonna die." Next I screamed on the top of my lungs, tears pouring away from my face. I was crying and watching this sickening thing go down right in front of my eyes, but there's nothing I couldn't do about it because I was just frozen in fear. I couldn't move a muscle. It was just too terrifying for me. "Grab her!" Next, the two guys tied me up in a chair. They raised my head in a slaughtering way. To be honest, I was damn god scared to see my boyfriend lifeless on the chair. His eyes was coming out of the socket like a dead fish, and his clothes was all messy and covered with blood. No! The reason why I was crying because I know I was next, and the pain was too much to bear till I just fainted on the ground. The next day, I woke up in the hospital. To be honest, I don't know how I got there because the only memory I got seeing my dead boyfriend sit on the stool. And I was just pissed off seeing Alex was still alive who killed my boyfriend because his father was the mayor so he can get away with murder. But he didn't know I was coming back for him. I was going to take revenge for my boyfriend and he wouldn't like it. In the night, I come home from hospital and I went to watch a show on a website. I was watching the show when I come across a video with Alex inside of it. Alex was eating a burger and it looks like human organs was inside the burger. I was just so pissed off with this encounter. I almost vomit at that encounter. I watched the video and I started panicking and started crying because I know who it was. And I said in my mind, I have to revenge my boyfriend for this. Next, I come across someone was looking for some victims to kill. The man gave me his ID number, and one day when Alex was in the garage filling up his gas tank, the man what I hired take him into custody. He tied him on a chair. He was trying to get out of the chair, but it was not out now. He was screaming and trying to unfold himself off of the chair. Next, what keep him quiet because you see his best friend was slaughtered in the way after he did slaughter my boyfriend at the same restaurant that night. He was trying to get out of it, but it was not out now. And next, I walked out from the darkness with the same guy what did kidnapping in the first place. I raised a big butcher knife, symboling I was going to slaughter him like how he slaughtered my boyfriend. I said, "Yeah, it's your turn to die." When the masked man sliced his foot, he screamed in pain. I started returning the favor of beating out his face like how he did to my boyfriend in the restaurant at that same night. He screamed in pain and trying to unfold it himself, but that was no help now. Next, I take up one of the human organs burger and shove it into his mouth. Next, I said, "Food for a king." I said in my mind, I finally got my revenge. That's what he gets. when he messed around with people. He'd been messing around with people for a long time, and the man filmed the whole process and posted on his website. I told the man that was the last thing going on his website. Stay on the news. Police flood the Burger King area. Police was currently investigating the mayor's death, but they don't know I was the one who did it because he killed my boyfriend. I finally revenged myself, and he deserved it. Next, I take a bite of the human's organs burger and spit it out. I sighed in my mind, this thing tastes like shit. How can anyone eat this? But I'm going to Burger King the next following day, so I'm gonna got more burgers to eat. Real ones this time. Ha 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 ha. I recently applied for a job at Wendy's, and today was my interview, and today the boss said if I completed my interview I will start right away because they really need people to start cooking Wendy's. I introduce my name and tell them all about me, where I live and where I come from. Luckily, the interview go well and I'm going to start my job today. The manager was showing me where I should work. So you dear, you're gonna take that side and don't peep into Wendy's restaurant where the ingredients and things are being made. I sided and look into the direction what he say. I nod my head just and yes, I agree to the terms. But in that direction still, I see a girl dressed into the Wendy's outfit what I did see on the signboard outside. The Wendy's, she looked like the Wendy's girl because she was dressed as a Wendy's girl. I look at her for some time and start learning her ways. She never talk unless she was supposed to be talking. But sometimes, when she served food, she started throwing up. And when the manager see this, he didn't go easy on her. He will get mad. The next day at Wendy's, when I come in to do my job, she was carrying some plate. When I see she was looking into the kitchen where the man told us what we shouldn't look into. I said, Wendy, what are you doing? The boss said we should look in there. Next she stumbled and frightened and next the plate dropped out of her hand and broke. Next, after the plate dropped and our event started, Wendy was pointed in a direction with a frightened face and she couldn't control her body. It's like her body was moving itself. Oh my god! Next, the boss slowly approached Wendy in an angry face. And I just stand here because I know I was guilty. I said, sir, it's not her fault. To be honest, sir, it was my doing, I'm sorry. When I turned into the direction where Wendy and my boss was at, the next hour event unfolded. My boss hold Wendy by the ear and said, you little rat, this is all your mess. Wendy couldn't speak because she was in pain. Sorry, sir. And when my boss was done with Wendy, my boss come over to me and said angrily, yo, you're the cause of this. It's okay though, you can go home early. And to be honest, that was the last day I saw Wendy. It was just my boss and the fry cook in the kitchen these days. Sometimes I sighed in my mind, where's Wendy? Where's she gone? Did my boss fire her? I will never know because I was the cause of everything. Continue my job as always. One day when no one coming to Wendy's, it was completely empty and it was time for the Wendy's to be locked. I searched for my key inside my pocket but I couldn't find it. I said in my mind, damn it, my boss is gonna kill me now. I decided there's a spare key in the kitchen, so I would just go in the kitchen to get the spare key. When I went into the kitchen, I see a pot bubbling up with some red substance inside of it. Next, I walk around in the kitchen to find a spare key. When I find a room, curiosity got the better of me and I peeked in. Besides, the room was not a room, it was a basement staircase. To be honest, I was kinda shocked to see this encounter. I never know my boss got a basement in Wendy's. Curiosity got the better of me and I stepped inside the basement to see what's down there. I walked down the basement and then I stopped in my truck when I hear two people talking. Hey boss, the meat is fat these days. Another voice feedback in the dark. Yeah, money don't grow on tree, you know. I walked more closely to hear what they were saying. Next, I hear the chef chop something. To be honest, the sound of the chop sounded like the meat was solid. Ice solid. I said in my mind, what kind of crazy things my boss been doing down here? Next, I keep listening in the distance and next something rolled at my feet. Next, curiosity got the better of me and I sided and picked it up. When I picked it up, it was none other than a human eyeball.
But I think this was some sort of Halloween prank, but I couldn't believe it until I believed it. I screamed, "What's that?" The chef said I put my hand on my mouth to not make any more sound. Because if I make any more sound, I'll be toast. I run into the next room because I hear footsteps approaching me. I bent down and started creeping in the chicken room. There was all sort of chicken hanging up in that room. To be honest, the footstep was even get more closer. I bite my lips to not make any more sound. Ha! Dang it, I move away before he even could find me. I ducked and fall on the floor. When I fall on the floor, my hand landed in something raw and sticky. What I see lead my life speechless surfer. It was the Wendy's girl. She was covered in blood, and half of her body was completely gone. Her eyes was bulging out of the sockets, and her mouth was wide open. I put my hand over her mouth because I wanted to scream at that time. I decided in my mind, I need to get out of here, and I started creeping on the ground looking for an exit. I was creeping on the ground looking for an exit when something drawn my attention. It was the fry cook. I decided in my mind, damn God, he find me. No. And when I finally got a good look at the place, what I see was humans hanging up lifeless. Damn God, they were dangling in the air and the lower part was gone, like someone had just cut it off. Some moments back, I wake up, kind of dizzy. I decided what happened, and then I feel a rapid pain shooting out from my toe point. The pain was so much to bear, and when I look, blood was dripping down. And then I see my boss and the fry cook come out from the darkness and look at me and say in a demonic voice, "Ha ha 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 ha! If only you did mind your own freaking business, none of this would have happened. Ha 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 ha."